Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 786. I'm your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Connor?
Hello.
What's up, Scott? All right. So, before, I guess we'll start with Connor, but before we do that, I have to laugh because it's hysterically funny. Sony give a big finger to the haters that they're going to re-release Ghostbusters in all the theaters for the Labor Day weekend, and in doing so, with nothing really coming out this week, it would probably make them millions.
Thank you, haters.
I find it hysterical. It's hysterical that they're doing this. And
without you, Ghostbusters couldn't have been a hit.
It's amazing because they are going to make millions off of this, and people are like, no, now you're going to, whatever. It's like, I mean, they only have, I think it's only the weekend. It may not be longer than that, but you know what? We'll see. So I got the last laugh with that. Off the subject. Now, go ahead, Connor.
Mike,
what?
re-release it?
What?
Didn't we comment and we thought it would be funny if they did re-release it?
Yeah, we did say something like that. Yeah. All right, Connor.
I'm going to laugh when it doesn't do well at all again.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so the big news and something that I'm personally very excited about is that Stranger Things is coming back for a second season.
Yes, thank you.
Which is absolutely amazing news because that show is unbelievable. I mean, Christ, how can you produce something that good?
It is amazing. I love that.
Oh.
Upside down, man.
Yeah.
11. She's the whole friggin' thing is just Winona Ryder.
Yes, I mean, she's one of my favorite actors that it is. So
she should get like a friggin' award or something for that performance.
Because they were talking about that, and she said the one gal from Silkwood, that's who inspired her for the whole hairdo and all.
She has to get an award.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And those kids were amazing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was friggin' definitely. Even the cop, everybody was perfect.
If they
even the boyfriends.
Yes. I just wanted to deck the father. I just wanted to deck that father every time he came on.
Yeah, that guy was a nerd, but the boyfriend of he turned out okay.
Yeah.
And that was cool. I was like, wow. And the creature looks really awesome too.
Oh yes.
So I loved it, man. I friggin' so grateful I got to watch that.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
What I would love to see, I know they may not, but if they do continue on from where it is, it'd be kind of neat to see Carl Kolchak make different to play. Carl Kolchak have like a cameo in 1 or 2 episodes.
I'm trying to wonder why the cop went with them. What did he do? What was the purpose of going with them? Did they tell him, oh, by the way, 11's alive or something or whatever? I mean, like, why would he go away with them? And he must be connected with them, or he works for them now too, or something. But I don't even know. But
well, he might do because he was sworn to secrecy, wasn't he? About what one?
I think he works for them now, but he tries to make it like where they're good scientists, not evil scientists, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, but then he gave the ego, and then she's alive, so that's great. I mean, I'm wondering if she just incorporated her body or something, or.
That's what I've been, because I rewatched that one scene, at least that one episode again. I thought.
I'm wondering if she's going to reconstitute her body.
Yeah.
Like maybe you can't kill that thing. Like maybe if you blow him up, he just turns to like that weird weird thing and just reconstitutes somewhere. So maybe the same thing happened to her, and she's going to build up strength over there or something. That's amazing. I love that whole. It's always like that thing where they say like behind the mirror or something like another parallel world, like the dark side, whatever. And now there's like
it's upside down.
The upside down, yeah. But there's also besides an upside down, there's another one too. There's technically should be another one where it's. Enough like 2 realities, like 3 basically. But we'll see what happens.
Be the center world.
Yeah, so that's really. I love stuff.
Ooh, they could explore that the one that's above us.
Right, that could be like a heaven thing or something, you know, like that's hell or whatever. But it fascinates me that they got the magic of E.T., Goonies, all this shit from the 80s, and they knocked it out of the park.
Listen to the music from that era to get
music,
down pat.
everything. And they didn't go too crazy. It was only 8 episodes.
Yes, and that's good.
Yeah.
And
it's going to be 9 next year, so there's an extra 4 hour of
is that
Stranger.
going to be a Christmas episode or a New Year's episode?
I feel bad for Bar, though, but, you know, that was just like, up.
Do you want to go through like all the things that we got in the video and the articles that came after?
Whatever you want to do.
Because we got the episode titles, didn't we? And the,
yeah, you want to go over that? Yeah.
Yeah. So chapter 9. Actually, this is what I like about it. It's like a continuous story. It's starting off from chapter 9 rather than going back to chapter 1.
Oh, good.
So it feels.
So chapter. What do you mean? So it's going. What do you mean chapter 9?
Episode.
Yeah, you were 1 through 8, and they're going to go chapter 9 through whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So episode 1 is chapter 9. That's Mad Max, which is a very bizarre title considering the film. Chapter 10 is The Boy Who Came Back to Life. Chapter 11 is The Pumpkin Patch. Chapter 12 is The Palace. Chapter 13 is The Storm. Chapter 14 is The Pollywog. Chapter 15 is The Secret Cabin. Chapter 16 is The Brain. And chapter 17 is The Lost Brother. One thing that really stood out to me, and this actually makes total sense, is because chapter 11 is called The Pumpkin Patch, and because it's based in fall 1984, that because season 1 was based at Christmas time, maybe they're going back to Halloween.
Oh, yes.
For more of a horror sort of.
So
Halloween came out. I mean, the Halloween movies, right?
Pumpkinhead theme.
Well, Halloween 3, whatever. I don't know.
Because they said that James Cameron's going to be one of the major influences of.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
So and then we've got 4 new characters, I think, coming into the show at some point.
Yes.
None of whom have been cast. What else? 9 episodes, of course.
They said they're going to deal with the Barb thing right away. So.
Yeah, they said there's going to be some form of justice for Barb, which is good because I sort of don't like how she was forgotten at the end of the series.
You know, it'd be amazing if you find out that creature is Barb. Like maybe if it died, like she becomes a creature. If that's what the purpose of that thing is there.
It could be, yeah, because I read a theory that it's there to that it uses the humans to incubate so that it can stay alive. So, yeah,
he's spitting out slug creatures. So if those creatures come into our world, could they turn our world upside down or something? That's like
that would be interesting. That's why I think it would be kind of smooth to see some version of Carl Kolchak to come waltzing through there. He's like retired and.
Yeah, we'll talk more about this. I don't think Chris watched it. You didn't see that, right, Chris? You don't watch it?
No, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm glad. I have a feeling it's going to be more than one more season. I think they're going to keep going a little bit.
They said the Duffer Brothers, who wrote the show and everything, said that they plan on it being more than 2 seasons, I think, but they don't envisage themselves being like Game of Thrones or anything where they're going for 6 or 7 seasons.
Yeah, it loses intrigue after maybe the 3rd or 4th season.
I mean, I gotta say, like, certain shows, when it gets to that season, it's like, it shouldn't continue. Like, I know I love Bates Motel, but after the last season, I was, like, upset, you know, with the ending, and I don't know if you saw it, Scott. You saw it?
Not yet.
No, well, I don't understand why. I mean, I'm not really happy about the season coming up, so, I mean, but again, I'll watch it, but, you know, it kind of, to me, it just, I like the way it was going. You know, I wouldn't have done it that way, but whatever. But anyway, yeah, if it goes too long, it's, you know.
I think 4 seasons for Stranger Things, maybe after season 2 following new characters for 2 more seasons would be good. I think that like, telling two different stories within one sort of.
Yeah, had the first two chapters with these kids, and the next two, and the next two being something.
Well, the kids are always going to be in it, I think.
Yeah. Ooh, had the last two have them being a little bit older, so maybe in the 90s.
Well, they're going to do that eventually.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
I think they said in the article that they were planning on jumping forward to the 90s, weren't they?
They were talking about doing it, but they didn't do it yet. Like they didn't commit to it, but we'll see. You know, well, that's another problem too, because the kids got to look older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't be kids anymore. But then another thing too, like just like the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, they said that they can't make that until Daniel Radcliffe is 37 years old. Like they're actually going to do it by what age he is. So if they did Stranger Things, like the kids, and if they're doing it in the 90s, the kids would have to be much older, and it's not going to work. So we'll see. I'm very happy that got approved. Now I'm not concerned. Besides, like the Netflix shows, I don't know how Luke Cage is going to be. I hope it's good. But I'm concerned with Jessica Jones because the main, like one of the main villains, got called away to DC now. So the guy that was the boyfriend to Trish, now he got hired by DC. So that sucks. But we're gonna have to see. All right, Chris, do you want to do an article?
Yeah, I mean, we just got this short one here. They're making a Passion of the Christ sequel, if anybody cares.
I just don't know why we're revisiting that, but I mean, nothing against entertainment. Whoa.
That was weird.
Yeah, nothing against. I mean, I believe in God. I'm religious, but I really don't.
Yeah, I don't see how they could get a.
Like, if he was going to do a sequel, he should have did it right away.
Yeah.
But now then things happen with him, and it's like bad things in his life, and it's like maybe he needs this to be back on top. So that's why I'm against it, because it's like selfish purposes, I think. Like, why don't you rebuild yourself another way than use that? I'm not really. I mean, if he was always going to do a sequel, he was always going to do a sequel, but that's not true. He wasn't. So, he even said it. I think he wouldn't make a sequel to that. So now all of a sudden he wants to. I'm not. A
sequel to the X-Files. Too much time has passed, and
I don't like when people make a statement and then they change it. Like when the guy from Prometheus said that the sequels are never going to be with aliens, that it's going to be a completely different thing. This is, if you're going to watch this for aliens, don't watch it. And then all of a sudden he does a 180 and he makes the whole thing about aliens. And I'm like, you just ruined the guy's going to do Alien 5. Like,
yeah, I think that's the whole point of doing it.
So I don't like that, because I just feel that they do it for the money. I don't. It's, how could you be passionate about it if you were totally against it in the first place? I mean, anybody, Chris?
No, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, movies are made to make money, but I think if that's the only thing you're doing it for, it could be a problem. But I don't know. Who knows?
What about the Bond shortlist?
Oh, yeah. It's sort of like the usual names, isn't it? It's Idris Elba, Michael Fassbender, who is absolutely not going to play Bond, and I don't want him to play Bond. Luke Evans, don't know who he is.
Oh yeah, he was the one that played Dracula in Dracula. The last one that just came out was
okay. Yeah. Folks, that last Dracula one, rent it. Just rent it. Don't even buy it. It was not that good.
Okay.
Aidan Turner, who was in The Hobbit and in that BBC series Paul Dark. He's actually a very good actor from what I've seen in The Hobbit. And Tom Hiddleston, and they're in talks with James Norton and Jamie Bell from Billy Elliot.
Wow.
I don't like any of them choices.
I gotta tell you, we were talking off air last night about the Mandela effect, and I got so disturbed when I found out that Moonraker was changed and the girl, her braces were not there anymore, and she had perfectly good teeth. Remember that,
Oh, yeah.
Connor?
Yeah.
I was upset like you wouldn't believe. You know, and I was looking at that this whole morning about the Mandela effect. Like they said that this stuff added in there that they changed things from the Bible was changed. Where the lion lays with the lamb, and they said they took that out, and it's the wolf with the lamb, and whatever. And I'm like, oh.
Well, actually, rather bizarrely, we were talking about the John F. Kennedy thing, weren't we? With the car and everything. And then I wake up this morning and see that there's an article with the Daily Mail saying that one of the top secret agents at the time was on his deathbed and said that one of his agents killed John F. Kennedy, and it was an inside job rather than some form of a
it's kind of really spooky. If you know, you shouldn't try to get too much involved with it, but to think that, you know, the frustration of like when you go to find out that it can't be true, like the Bernstein Bears and the Bernstein Bears, and then you can't. And then when I watched the thing over and over again last night, Moonraker, with the girl, the whole purpose of that thing was Jaws fell in love with the girl because she had braces.
Yeah, she had braces.
She had braces. That was the joke. And for that to go back and all these copies change, where she had perfectly good teeth, it wouldn't make any sense.
No, he fell in love with her because she had braces.
So I don't. But then I was thinking, like, and here I'm gonna go off tangent of what I want to talk about on the show. But I was thinking to myself, well, let's just say hypothetically, right, that someone went back in time to do these minor changes, right? What would be the purpose of, hypothetically, somebody going back in time and doing these little changes? And the only thing I can come up with is that our whole concept of time is all, like, we're wrong about it. I mean, we are of a higher consciousness that if something was altered, we can remember it, but, like, any evidence will be altered. I'm just saying hypothetically. I'm not saying this is real, the Mandela thing or anything, but what if the purpose of doing little ripples, right, is if you keep doing ripples, you make rivers. Like, that's the whole point. If you keep going back and back and back, the whole purpose of it is you can't just change something outright. So you got to keep changing into a whole dramatic thing change.
And that's the problem.
If that could be a thing.
Yeah, that's the problem right there. You go back, you change it, and then you realize you're out. And let's say this. Let's say, okay, you change it, and then you realize that outcome screws something up. So you have to go back again,
like a butterfly effect,
or go back even further to change the one that you initially changed. And you have
I never remembered the Kennedy assassination.
You pretty much caused a big bang, wiping out everything.
I never remembered there being 6 people in that car, and there even being like 2 people sitting in front of John F. Kennedy and Jackie Onassis. Like, I don't remember, you know, that car ever having that thing with that. And then you look at this thing, and I'm like, but I don't remember any of that. Like, I've seen that a million times when I was a kid, right? And then also her outfit looks darker to me. I remember it being like pink, like not like purplish pink.
Look at Quantum Leap. They even covered that.
They did an episode.
And Sam even said, what you don't, what Dean Stockwell's character says, what you don't remember is initially even Jackie O was one of the ones who was assassinated. But
then the whole thing too was that Moffat even teased with the Tesselector that something was altered, like, you know, making it like, you know, fantasy thing. But it's just to me, maybe it's just some people putting fake stuff out there, like fake videos. They're just creating new videos, and it's getting mixed with the old stuff. That's what I think is happening. I think that somebody is screwing around with the internet to make it look like a topic. I don't know. What do you say, Chris? Anything?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of confused about what we're talking about here, because I think we kind of went off track.
Yeah, we did go off track.
I can tell you with the Kennedy thing, the 2 people that were sitting in front of him were always there. You could actually go back.
Okay.
You can go back. The two people that were sitting in front of them were it was governor. Oh, well, it was the governor at the time and his wife.
Right.
And Governor Connolly. And the big problem with that the government faced, and a lot of people who believed that there was a conspiracy theory faced when they looked at that was they used a lot of that stuff to form the whole magic bullet theory.
Mm-hmm.
But what they for some reason didn't realize, or maybe they did realize it and they just decided not to actually tell us, was that the only way the magic bullet theory works is if they were sitting on the same level as Kennedy and his wife. But the way that limousine was designed, the way it was built, the seats that they were sitting in were actually about a foot lower than Kennedy and Jackie. So actually, when you look at and they've done this many times in not only in recent years, but in the past, and it was like third-party independent investigations did this that weren't sponsored by the government or people trying to find or figure out if it was a conspiracy or not. They actually test fired from the same type of gun with the same rounds, same type of area. You actually don't even need the magic bullet theory for the shot to work.
Okay.
It actually works perfectly if you consider that they were sitting lower. And actually, when you look at the limousine, they are indeed sitting lower.
Okay.
So they were always there. Jackie didn't get shot. The reason she jumped out of the car, quite disturbingly, was because she was trying to get a piece of his skull that she found on the back, and she thought if she had it, they'd be able to save his life or something. But the big question I always had was there was the footage that the main footage called the Zapruder film, which was taken by a man named Abraham Zapruder, who was there taking photographs and filming the event. He got the final shot that showed how when Kennedy got hit, when the kill shot that killed him. He had the video, and he gave it to a company called Time Life.
Mm-hmm.
He sold it. I think he sold it to them, or he gave it to them. They locked it away for like 20, 30 years, and they never showed anybody. And
So
then finally, years later, somebody came out and they were like, "Look at this," and they were like, "Oh my gosh, that's the kill shot."
Right.
So that is really weird stuff that happened around there. I have actually heard that other theory that one of the agents killed him.
Right.
I have actually heard that theory before, and it's actually kind of disturbing.
Wow. I do apologize, guys. I know we talking about. We can't talk about everything on here, but it was kind of. I remember what we were talking about off air. We do off air sometimes, and it was just an interesting topic there. So we're gonna go back to our regularly scheduled program.
Can we just go back to Stranger Things for a minute?
Yes.
I've just read something. Apparently, Will Byers is going to be a villain.
Oh.
Because he's obviously coughing up all the slugs, isn't he? And apparently he's housing a monster in his body.
Wait. The kid you're saying?
Yeah, the kid that went missing.
The kid is going to be a villain because he has the creatures in him?
He has a creature inside him of some description. And they're not aware of, because obviously he went into the bathroom, didn't he?
Yeah.
Completely out of sight. They're not aware of what he's suffering from.
So he's not dead, but he's possessed or something?
He's sort of semi-possessed, like...
Okay.
And yeah, it apparently becomes more noticeable as a...
They'll probably bring 11 back. That's how they'll bring 11 back, that she has to warn the kids, that something's up with their friends.
Yeah, it starts off as a hallucination, and then finally it's revealed, oh, she's actually back.
That's good. That's a good thing, O'Connor. That was cool. All right, Chris.
Yes.
What was this nonsense article about episode 8 with Snoke, and that was all phony, that he's the grandfather and all that crap?
Yeah, this is, they were saying that they were going to reveal that Snoke was Anakin's father, and that he has a line in the script that he's like, a father always sees his creation. That is actually an old theory, before Snoke was even a character. The theory was that Darth Plagueis, who was of course Darth Sidious or Emperor Palpatine's master, and this is confirmed. This first part, Plagueis is still canon, and his ability to control midichlorians is canon. And the idea was that his master, who was Darth Tenebris, told him about the legends of the Chosen One, that there would one day be a Chosen One who, brings balance to the Force. And Darth Tenebris was of a race called the Bith, who are the guys in the cantina that play the song.
Right.
They're called the Bith. And in the Star Wars universe, they are one of the, if not the most intelligent race in the galaxy.
Okay.
So Darth Tenebris was one of these guys, and he figured that and he knew the reason that he took Darth Plagueis as an apprentice was because he knew Plagueis had this talent with manipulating midichlorians.
Okay.
So he said, if I tell him that his thought process was, if I tell Plagueis about the Chosen One, he will find a way to create this being that has this huge amount of midichlorians, and they will be the most powerful Force being ever, right? And what he was going to do was, when he died, he had this Force ability that allowed him to possess other Force beings. So he was going to have Plagueis create this Chosen One, and then he was going to take over the Chosen One's body.
Okay.
But Plagueis knew he was going to do this. He figured it out. So he killed Tenebris in a way that his soul could never come back. It could never possess anything else. So the idea in Episode 3, what they were hinting at, was that Plagueis manipulated the Force, and that inadvertently created Anakin as the Chosen One. So what I think what this theory was trying to say was, Snoke actually did this, and he created Anakin. He's not his biological father, but he manipulated the Force, and that created Anakin.
Okay, well at least we're not going to get the stupid line, "I am your grandfather," or something stupid.
Yeah, no.
Like
The line in the line in the theory was, a father is always there to see his creation.
Right.
And the idea that Snoke is first of all, we know he's not a Sith Lord.
Right.
So he can't be Plagueis. They've already said he's not a Sith Lord.
Okay.
And I personally believe that we already actually know who they've told us who Snoke is, somewhat, in one of the novels that they put out.
Right. You want to say it again? You want to say it again?
Yeah, I definitely think, I don't think this one person is Snoke, but I think this character named Gallius Rax has to do something with the creation of whoever this Snoke character is.
Okay.
And that's in the novel Life Debt Aftermath, which is the sequel to Life Debt. Right now, I'm reading one of the novels called Star Wars Bloodline, which is it's focusing on Leia and what she's doing about 10 years before The Force Awakens.
Okay.
It's very good. The novel is very good, but I have to say the best new canon Star Wars novel is definitely Lords of the Sith. It's one of the best books I've ever read, hands down, and the best Star Wars book I've ever read. If you're looking for, if you want to hear Darth Vader do some pretty crazy shit, pardon my language, it's in that book.
You got flagged.
Yeah, everything you want Vader to do is in that book.
Okay.
So has there been a script leak?
There's been 7 that they've tried to pass off as real.
Oh, well, that's sort of part and parcel of being Star Wars, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, the thing that freaked a lot of people out, myself included, was way back when there was a script leak for The Force Awakens, and I had read it, a lot of my friends read it, a lot of people read it, and originally everyone was like, yeah, that's not it. I kid you not, 95% of that script was in The Force Awakens.
Whoa.
There was 2 or 3 things that were different. And I remember going back and reading it, and I was like, what the hell? How did that happen? This person either really did, because the person claimed, I've worked on the set, this is the script. It's an early draft, but this is what we're shooting with right now. And everyone was like, yeah, oh, yeah. How many times have we heard this story before? And then, like, you go back and read it now, and it's like, holy shit. You're like,
Wow.
you got to be kidding me.
There's apparently a site, well actually there isn't apparently, because it's a site I came across called I Was Raised to Do One Thing. It's on the Star Wars Leaks Reddit page. It's quite a talks about website on there. Apparently it's someone relaying information from an on-set source.
Oh, yeah.
I actually forgot that I bought something to show on the show today. So let me just go get what I have to show.
Right.
2 minutes.
And yeah, they were saying some pretty, I wouldn't say obviously accurate, because we don't know if it's accurate, but it's sort of plausible sort of stuff, you know, about episode 8. So
I got to tell you, like I know that the popular thing is to say like a lot of these you know, like leaks and stuff are fake. But I got to tell you, the past few months, I've seen stuff that people will say, oh, you know, this is what's going on, and people will discount them, and then it turns out to be true. So I think like it's a weird thing that things are starting to get like more accurate as time goes on with these like quote unquote leaks and stuff, and it's like, how the hell are they doing this?
It's got to be somebody, probably somebody from the food staff is overhearing it, or a caterer or something's hearing it, and they would go, okay, and they tell somebody, so that way it doesn't come from them. They can just say, yeah, I heard this offhandedly, I read it somewhere, and then...
Well, I remember, too, there was another site for Star Wars that gets a lot of really accurate news, and they were like, oh, yeah, they're filming on the island, you know, it was no secret, because it's not a spoiler, because... Ryan Johnson put photos and whatnot. We knew that they were filming on the island that they ended in Episode 7. I don't know how these people did this, but they got like long-range photographs of things that were happening on the island. And I'm sitting there like, how the hell did they do that? Like, what?
well, there's supposed to be a massive lightsaber battle on the island, isn't there, between the Knights of Ren and Luke and Rey.
Yeah, I hope that's true. That sounds amazing.
All right, I'm not to interrupt what you're talking about, but I just got the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, cool.
17, a female Electro, and this is before Dead No More, which is the Clone Conspiracy, the Dan Slott, and also thanks to the people that were commenting on my YouTube channel, I wasn't aware that something big happens in Silver Surfer number 200. So I also got that to look at the Mephisto thing with Spider-Man that I heard was in there. So thanks to my subscribers and people who comment on my videos to alert me about the Silver Surfer thing. So I'm going to read that and see what that's about. Now, I also want to do a Real Who Beans tonight. And being that it's not payday, I was only able to get one. But we're going to do an unboxing. If we could do an unboxing for that. So, anything else? I know there's a lot more to talk about on Everything Show, Chris and Connor. But I think I want to do. Could we do another one?
If you want, yeah. I've got a bit more news.
Chris, you got to go to school tomorrow early, or
No, the hurricane down here. All my classes are canceled tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So you could do another show too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, don't risk driving down here. We think that everything's gonna flood. I'm like, okay.
Oh my God. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this Everything Show. We got some more news for you. Take care. Bye for now.